again. I am ready to install my second bee package, and we are inside a shed. I actually have a bee in my hair. I can feel it right now. I was gonna put on my bee hat just because we're kind of in more of an enclosed area and I don't really like getting stung in the face. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my little bee hat on. It's very stylish. Okay. All right, so we're gonna get started here. Let me give you a quick tour of this hive because it is kind of unique. It is in a large terrarium, as you can see. See if you can see it from the side. It's kind of a huge one. I don't know how many gallons it is, but right now I have half of it empty, and then I have half of it full of frames, and these are all frames that have been built out from last year. You can see like this. Some of them have honey in them. Some of them they're gonna have to clean up a bit because they have some old brood inside. But once again, I'm gonna kind of create an opening. And one kind of cool thing about this terrarium is that it does have a gap in the bottom, just because the deep frames are not as deep as the terrarium. So the bees just went ahead and kept building comb right down below the frames, which is pretty cool. I don't mind that at all. So we're gonna set that one aside. And the feeder here, I'm gonna go ahead and have you kind of watch from above here. But the feeder that I use for this hive is a mason jar feeder, and the lid that I made for this is an interlocking groove paneling wood. I just cut them all the same length, and a few of them I made holes in and added a metal wire grate to, and I just flipped that mason jar upside down and the bees can feed that way. So I'll just go ahead and start by putting the remaining sugar water that I didn't use in my other hive into this mason jar. And put the lid on and get it all ready, just so I don't have to disturb them too much once we have the queen in and everybody's set. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're just going to kind of do the same procedure as the last time. I'm going to take my bees here and just start getting this can loose. And again, this is the feeding can, so that when the bees are traveling, they have something to eat. This one is sunk right down. So now that I've gotten it most of the way out, I'm just going to give it a little tap again and get most of the bees to the bottom. Of course, I would get stung right now. I never put my bee gear on. I always think I should do it, and then I don't, and then I get stung. Okay, and I somehow still have a bee inside my bee hat. How did they get in there? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and tap this down. Okay, got most of them down. I'm going to use my little popsicle stick cover this time. I will just set that aside. Okay, and now I'm going to get this little queen cage out again. Okay, there she comes. Uh-oh, my little cover sprang a leak. Okay, so here's the queen cage for this one. And let's take a look, make sure she looks okay in there. Yep, I can see her. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the cork out. Got my marshmallow ready here. Okay, I got the cork. This is the little cork piece out. I've got my finger over the hole, and then I'm just going to take a majority of this marshmallow and just stick it right in that hole. Just like that. Alright, so she is good to go. I'm just going to set her right here on top of the frames for now. Okay, so now we're ready to shake the bees in. I'm just going to give them one more tap to kind of get them all in one place here. Okay, I'm going to open it up. Flip them out. Okay, so that is the majority of the bees. I'm going to do the same thing with the queen this time and just kind of take the cage I'll put her between these two, maybe. I'm going to try, I have this little lemongrass tissue again. I'm going to try putting that in here as well. I don't know if it'll make a big difference, but I know lemongrass tends to be a calming essential oil for those bees. Oh, just lost a piece of comb. It broke off my frame. How sad. Ooh, and it's full of honey from last year. So I might just go ahead and take that inside and eat it. Make some lip balm out of the wax. I love doing that. Okay, so now we need to cover this one up. And so I just have these interlocking panels for this hive. And I don't know if it has to do with this particular type of hive, but before I didn't have hardly any of these ventilation openings, and there was kind of a lot of condensation that would form in behind the glass, so that's why I created a lot of these ventilation openings. And I just remember that this one that doesn't have mesh on it is the one that I use for the feeder, because they can't really reach the openings of the feeder with the metal grate there, so that is why it is like it is. We'll just leave it like that for now. And I tend to, when I turn this jar over, I tend to go outside to turn it over because it likes to splash everywhere. I'm just going to do that quick. Okay, so I have it upside down now. I'm just going to set it right here. And then the remainder of the bees, there are still quite a few in the hive. And one of the nice things about this hive is it's got this big open area on the side right now because I'm not utilizing the whole hive at the moment. So I'm just going to open it up and just set the box, oops, set the box in this area, and that way they can just fly out and go join the rest of their group on the other side. I'll just cover that up. And then lastly, I'm just going to put my insulation. I have insulation that I just wrap around this hive just to kind of keep it darker and more natural for them. Okay, so let me give you a quick little visual of how that looks down here. So this is the side that has the new bees in it and the queen. And then over here I have the box with the remainder of the bees. And they'll just kind of work their way out and go to the other side where the frames are. So that's it. I'll be making videos periodically, and I'm hoping that this year we'll be doing better with our bees and we won't lose our queen this time. So, alright, thanks for watching. Bye.